This morning, I'm going to be sharing a message about the gifts God has given to me. My misuse and misunderstanding of how to use these gifts, and the gifts God has not given to me. I grew up the second of 4 children in the town of Winchester, a suburb of Boston. I was raised by brilliant parents, and my siblings are very talented in lots of different ways. If you had asked me at the age of 15 what my gifts were, I would have told you I didn't have any gifts. I would have listed all the gifts I didn't have: the gift of brilliance, the gift of being good looking, athletic, artistic, musical. I lived in a family of talented people. I grew up in a town with exceptional people. My friends were good looking, talented, athletic, and brilliant. I didn't see any of that in myself. Sometimes gifts don't reveal themselves to us right away. As I moved into adulthood, I could see that the Lord had blessed me with a long list of gifts: the gift of good health, the gift of teaching, the gift of being well organized, the gift of leadership, the gift of being generous, the gift of gab. The list is extensive. As I look back over the years, I can see there have been many occasions when I have misunderstood how to use these gifts. I have used them in unholy ways, in ways that likely have disappointed the Lord, in ways that did not reflect the glory of God. God gave me the gift to be a leader. A leader is someone who leads, guides, facilitates. I can see it is easy for me to misuse this gift of leadership. I have been the chairperson of many groups over the years, at church, at school, at work. At times, I have been more domineering and directive in this role, more in charge than a leader should be. I can see times when I imposed my ideas, listening less, talking more. I hope that as I have aged, I have become a better leader, able to facilitate rather than dominate. I know this is still a work in progress. God has blessed me with the gift of organization and the gift of being a host. I organize and host many of the family gatherings. I do not worry as I prepare and get ready for these events. I have the gift of bringing people together. However, I can see ways I've misused my gift of organizing, and over the years, I have tried to adjust. I host the family Thanksgiving each year. Usually we have about 25 people. They arrive early and stay for hours. Sometimes it feels like days. In my early years of organizing these dinners, I created name cards and invited people to sit in specified spots. Some in the family really didn't like to be directed to a particular seat. They'd come in and move the name cards. I dispensed with that practice. As we moved from family-style dinners to buffet-style, I created a system where we would go through the buffet line from oldest to youngest. I wanted my dad, who had just turned 90, to be able to move slowly through the line and pick out what he wanted without the chaos of lots of younger grandchildren pushing and shoving. Again, the idea seemed like a good one, but not well received. Younger members of my family felt shortchanged. Now I have Dad go first, with everyone else going in whatever order works for him. For them, I'm constantly calling upon the Lord to help me best use his gifts. My gift of hosting has become something I've misinterpreted. I love to have people in my home. I'm also happy to invite guests into other people's homes. There are times when my girls will invite Brian and me to their places, and without giving it too much thought, I invite other people to join us, feeling the more the merrier. Wrong. My girls are not happy to have their list go from 6 to 16 to 26 without much input from them. Now they are very clear with me. Mom, it will just be us. Or they will ask, are you planning to invite your whole family to this? I'm trying to restrict my gift of hosting to my home only. I have the gift of generosity. I will give you the shirt off my back, the shirt off my husband's back, the shirt off my girls' backs. Recently, I was talking with my dad about where he'd like to live if he faces a time that he feels he can no longer live alone. Generously, I offered him my home. I also generously offered this possibility to him. Maybe he could buy a duplex, and Ellen and Matt, my oldest daughter and son-in-law, could live in one half. They could oversee Dad's needs, take care of him. My dad declined that offer. I shared my good idea with Ellen, who was quite surprised I would generously offer for her to be my dad's caregiver in his older years. Her comments to me were the following: Mom, it's not that I wouldn't consider that, but it is not for you to generously offer this to Grampy, especially without discussing the matter with me first. I am trying to limit my generosity to what I choose to give, not what I'd like others to give. I am striving to use my gifts to glorify the Lord, not me. What I find most interesting is the gifts the Lord has seemingly decided not to give to me. Two things come to mind. One is my lack of navigational instincts. I can drive someplace 42 times and get lost the 43rd time. I carpool to Bible study. My Bible sisters know they need to give me directions to ensure I will get them home each Wednesday night. My husband is the total opposite of me. He can travel to a place 17 years ago and find his way there today. I, on the other hand, might have been there 17 minutes ago and get lost going there now. I'm sure God has created me this way for a reason, but at the moment that reason is not obvious. Perhaps he's trying to test my marriage. I have to remind my husband, who is tempted to say, but you just went there, that I have navigational disabilities. Brian is showing more understanding as the years go on. The second non-gift is a lack of a consistently good memory. I remember some things, but not others. I compensate for this by writing things down. I'm organized, and I can find ways to deal with this, but I'm a very busy person, and I do wish the Lord had seen fit to give me a better memory. However, something happened recently, and I realized the Lord has deliberately given me this faulty memory. Perhaps he knew I had the capability of carrying grudges. Because I have a poor memory, I do not remember many unfortunate encounters. Not too long ago, my oldest daughter and I were at a performance. It was intermission, and we were walking about stretching our legs. We came upon a woman I had known in the mid-1990s when we lived in South Portland. I hadn't seen her in close to 20 years. I was delighted to see her again. I hugged her, caught up with all the news, and said goodbye. We made our way back to our seats. Ellen looked at me and said, Mom, I'm a little surprised you were so friendly to her. Don't you remember how she treated us? Remember when she made our lives so miserable? Ellen recalled some of the truly mean things this woman did to both me and Ellen, who was only 10 at the time. I paused and said, wow, I completely forgot all about that. I wish I could go and take back that hug. I'm kind of sorry I did stop and chat with her. We took our seats and finished watching the performance. I didn't see this woman at the end of the show. 2 weeks later, I learned that this woman had died. I didn't realize when I saw her at the show that she was dying of cancer, with very little time left. How filled with joy I was to think of my last interaction with her. How grateful I was that the Lord had given me this faulty memory. This non-gift has truly become a gift in disguise. I begin each day thanking the Lord for the many gifts He has blessed me with. I ask Him to guide me as I strive to make the best use of these gifts. I call upon Him to help me use these gifts with humility and grace and to glorify Him, not me. I thank Him for giving me His gift of love, the greatest of all gifts. I'll close with a passage from Colossians, chapter 3, verse 23. Whatever you do, do it enthusiastically, as something done for the Lord and not for men. Thank you.